unlocking the mystery behind negative thought processes. Scientists and medical staff have long since recognized that there is a huge difference between people who have a negative outlook and those that have a positive outlook. It's almost like the difference between someone who sees the cup as half full compared with someone who sees the cup as half empty. The negative person will be the one that doesn't get what he wants in life because his negative attitude will always hold him back. You can even take this further if you need more explanation. If you were to put 20 individuals on a medical trial, supposing 2 people were given a placebo, those 2 people may believe that they will get better and may very well improve in health because of their belief in the drug that they have taken. Medical placebos are well known, and these work because there are no negative thought processes behind their use. Those that believe that they will work will experience great results. Such is the power of the mind. Conversely, you will have those that have no belief in the drug, and perhaps they have a very negative mindset. These are the people who will always see the negative side of any situation. For them, it doesn't matter if the drug is real or placebo. It's their attitude that will decide the outcome. Negative thought processes destroy people. They take away belief and they make the individual unhappy, stressed, or even sick because of circumstance rather than illness itself. Achievement becomes a chore. People with a negative mindset are suspicious. They suspect other people's motives, and they always find a reason why others succeed. And they fail, and it certainly won't be because of them. If you can imagine people looking out of the window at the world, some will always see the skies as being blue, and even when they are not, they will have hope that the sun will come through the clouds later. Negative people walk through their lives with a permanent cloud over them because they don't know any other way to be. Why negativity arises can be because of many reasons. Perhaps experience has taught the individual to expect nothing. That in itself is a very negative way of looking at life. Perhaps the individual sees their level of luck as being less than 0 and won't see the potential of good luck happening in their lives. If I was to tell you that the fortune of an individual is not measured by luck, but by attitude, you would probably think that was a little bit slanted in opinion, but it's actually true. Luck is something that we use as an example when things go either badly or well. It's an adjective, but it isn't the reason that things went badly or well. That's largely down to attitude and the level of negativity or positivity. Step 1. Be realistic about who you are. If you are a negative person, you do need to change your outlook, especially if you want to unlock your own potential. Your negativity will hold you back. You need to observe the way that you deal with problems. Chances are that you see the bleak side of things, and you need to admit to yourself that you have a problem and that other people around you who are succeeding because of luck, but because their attitudes are healthier than yours. If you are one who blames circumstances for misfortune, then it's time to change that attitude. If you were to walk into an exam room expecting to fail, chances are that you would. Why? because you don't think yourself capable of passing the exam. With an attitude such as that you are likely to fail, you need to examine the kind of person you are and look at your actions over a period of time to see when you respond to any stimuli in a negative manner. Recognizing the problem is the very first part of being able to do something to change that problem. In this chapter, we are going to give you clues as to how you can change your situation and start to see life in a much more positive way. The steps included in this chapter are straightforward, and if you have problems incorporating them into your life at first, make notes and then go on an all-out purge of your old lifestyle, incorporating each and every step that we have given you, because it will make a huge difference to the outcome of every situation that you are faced with during the course of your life. Step 2, keeping a diary. I ask clients to keep a diary for a purpose. In this diary, they are to keep notes of negative thoughts. Next to each negative thought, they need to write down a potential answer to the problem that gives a positive outcome, thus negating the negativity. For example, I failed my driving test today. Positive response. I will have more experience. Next time I take it and I will pass. My boss gave the best work to my colleague. Positive answer. I will show my boss my capability, and next time it will be me that gets given the good work. My wife does not show her affection. Positive answer. Perhaps if I am more affectionate toward my wife, she will return that affection. For each negative entry in that book, you need to change your way of thinking to a positive one. This is only background work at this moment in time, but you need a change of attitude if you really do want to succeed. And this is the way toward gaining that positivity. People invariably see their failures as being part and parcel of what they can expect in their lives, but that depends upon how you look at the disappointments that happen. If you look at them in a negative light and learn nothing from them, then they will only have negative consequences. However, if you write down your negative thoughts and replace them with positive answers, using the failure as your prompt to improve, you can go forward 2 steps instead of going back and feeling that you are being held back from your dreams. Each trial in life is a hurdle. It may temporarily stop you from achieving your goals, but it doesn't have to halt them. Use it so that you go forward with more information, and you are more likely to achieve those goals. Use it as a negative, giving you fuel for reasons why you fail or justification of a failure, and you learn nothing from it. Look at these case scenarios, and you will see what I mean. But I couldn't win the race because the boy in the next lane was cheating, and I can't have the job that I want because other people always get there first, and there are always going to be those that stand in the way, and I can't do anything good. Lie, because not that good. These are all excuses as justification for why we want to explain for why you fail. In the first instant, the person running was blamed for cheating. In fact, if you were to look at your running skills and do all that you can to improve them, chances are that you could win. Don't use the fortune of others as your justification for failure. In that case, it would have been more appropriate to learn from the other person rather than accusing him of cheating because it makes you feel instantly better about your own performance. In the case of the job, negative thinking is getting in the way of progression. If you believe that everyone else will come first, you don't even go the extra mile to try for the job. If you really do know that there are other candidates, you need to strengthen your application in a positive manner rather than accompany it with your own sense of negativity. It may just be that it is your negative attitude that is stopping you from getting the job in the first place. If you really feel that people are getting in the way of your happiness, examine the situation because you are using this as an excuse for your failure. People make choices all the way through their lives. While it's quite possible that you could be held back at some stage of your life by people getting pulled in the way, you need to use this as a lesson and work out a positive conclusion so that next time they don't. It's all down to you. It's never going to be someone else's fault. And if you see it like that, it's usually because you let those people get in your way. You have to find balance and work towards set goals rather than putting off goals, assuming that they will be thwarted by others. As for playing the card, the next time that you blame luck, tell yourself that this is absolute nonsense. Yes, occasionally good luck happens, but it's not your bad luck that things did not happen to you. There will have been a progression of events that led to this bad luck, and you need to learn from every rejection in life so that you don't go forward in your life opposite when, in fact, is your failure to learn a different approach is to blame. Step 3, learning all about focus. Did you know that negative thoughts squash all your positive thoughts? Imagine the scenario. You have gone into the forest to admire nature. You had great plans, but right now you are standing with a grizzly bear in front of you. What do? The chances are that you will focus upon getting away from the bear. You will forget all about the wonderful photo opportunities and certainly won't give much thought to the berries you were thinking of gathering. The reason for this is that negative thoughts take all of your hard work and focus. They detract from anything good. If you let your mind take control of you and keep you in negative mode, you won't experience the joy of success. Of course, if faced by a grizzly bear, you do need to concentrate to this level to get away, but I only used this as an example to show the thought process. Beer becomes hypothetical and represents the negative thought that took away the possibility of seeing good things. Some people go through their lives with a series of bears coming into their horizon to spoil the view. If you think in a negative manner, each of these negative thoughts represents that bear. If you are angry with someone and stomp off across the park, chances are that you don't see anything in the park. Your mind is too black with anger, and the negative thoughts that are going through your mind are blinding you to the possibilities that are out there. Negative will always beat positive because the thoughts are more urgent, and the mind is built in such a way that we concentrate on bad things. If you look at this situation, There are several ways of dealing with it, mother. In-law thinks you are bad at home management. It could be dealt with in two ways. One is the negative way, and one concentrates on the positive aspects. The negative person will be concerned about her thoughts and will go out of their way to prove that mother-in-law is wrong. It becomes the focal point, and there isn't room for good thoughts. Thus, the mother-in-law problem becomes huge. She will tidy the whole house, even if the mother-in-law's own is only coming for dinner. She will be excessive in her overcompensation for bad home management to prove upon their in-law. She will concentrate on the negativity that the mother-in-law is likely to introduce to the event and will not see a positive side to anything surrounding that event. In fact, the way that this individual looks at life is a defensive way. If she feels any criticism from any source, she goes into the offensive and counters it, and before it actually happens. This is one unhappy lady because she is always centering her life on what other people think of her. And the problem is this: while she is so busy trying to compensate for other people's thoughts, she isn't actually enjoying life very much. The other way is to focus on the positive. Mother-in-law doesn't live in the same house, and that means you don't have to live with the criticism. Don't sweat it. It's only going to be a short visit, and then she can go home to her home where she is in control of home management. It sounds easier said than done, but if you put your focus always on the positive, you get through difficult situations unscathed. You don't have to concentrate all your energies on bad things, and you can move forward, show mother-in-law your positivity, and perhaps it will rub off on her. If it doesn't, it's her problem, not yours. You cannot control the opinions of others, but you can control the way that you let their opinions rule your life and dictate your level of happiness. Focus on the positive side of every situation, because if you want to succeed in life, you have to start seeing the cup as half full and not let the opinions of others hamper your ambitions. Look in your workplace at the girl who gets accused of not pulling her weight. If she is the cup half empty type of person, work will be a very miserable place for her because she feels she is not living up to expectations. However, if she is the cup half full type of person, she won't really be that bothered what other people think and can remain positive, knowing that what she does is what she is capable of. The focus that you put onto the negative changes everything. If you are always looking for fault, you will always find it because your mind is making it happen. If, for example, I were to check on the housework to make sure that it is done correctly, I will find dust. However, if I take the house at face value and enjoy it regardless of that little speck of dust, I am the winner. It's not that the house is dirty. It's the negative person who seeks to find dirt where other people don't even notice. Stop being the one to create problems in your own life and in the lives of people around you. Be positive and see things from a positive viewpoint. Let's show you a ridiculous case of concentration on the negative so that you can see how foolish you are being to yourself and the people that matter to you. Focus on good things helps you to enjoy your lot in life And in the next demonstrations, we will take a situation and dissect it into two sections. One man sees everything in a positive light. The other is totally negative, and perhaps the example is a little extreme, but it is like that for a purpose to show you how focusing on the negative spoils everything. Scenario 1. Negative focus. A man goes into a restaurant and orders an A's steak. When it arrives, it looks a little on the skinny side, and he complains very loudly that the steak looks less than 8 ounces. The waiter doesn't know what to do, but the man is so adamant that the steak is undersized that he is making a spectacle of himself in front of paying customers. He is invited to the kitchen. He is shown a pile of steaks, and the chef puts one onto the scales to show him that all the steaks are indeed A's steaks. However, he is not satisfied. He takes his own steak from the plate, scrapes the gravy off, and places it onto the scales, and it's less than 8 Oz. The chef explains that as a steak cooks, it loses some of its weight. The man feels that he has been cheated and insists that the chef cooks him a fresh A's steak from the pile, which is weighed in advance. He watches it being cooked. He sits back in his place and is served with the steak and eats it, even though he has a feeling in the back of his mind that the original steak was a short measure, and he even has the thought in his mind that this steak may not be the one that the chef showed him going into the pan. Negative thoughts are ridiculous. They take away the enjoyment of life. This man was so busy thinking of the weight of the steak and the fact that he thought he was being cheated that he didn't even taste it very much. His thoughts were too occupied with focusing on the negative. Scenario 2, positive focus. We will use the same scenario, but we will change the character in the scenario. In this case, a man is served with his steak. He smells the aroma and enjoys the taste and texture of the steak. It's wonderfully easy to cut and tastes absolutely delicious. He enjoys the taste of the vegetables that the chef has chosen and thinks that the meal is a very positive experience. People who are sitting with the man are happy to be in his company because of his positive attitude. He feels happy with the meal and the company that he is in. The difference between the two situations is clear. Those who were dining with the angry man would have been embarrassed by his behavior, while those who mixed with the positive man would be very impressed by being in his company. Although the above scene is a little extreme, you need to see it in black and white, that what you focus on in life is what you are going to get. If you see the world as being a place where everything is negative, it becomes negative. If you focus on the positive, however, everything changes. You become a magnet for friendships. You are able to reap the benefits of the law of attraction, and good things happen to you. That focus is imperative. Even when faced with difficult situations, you let your positive side see something that can be gained from the worst scenario you can imagine, because you will have trained your mind to always err the side of positivity. If you can consciously look at the bad things that happen during the course of the days that follow and try to see the positive slant, you begin to see things in a very different way. And it is this that you have to foster if you really want abundance in your life. There is no meat for dinner. Never mind, we can experiment with new vegetables and taste something new. The car won't start. Never mind, it will do us good to walk. Focus on the good side of everything, because when you learn to do that, you are able to go through life as a much happier person. Your focus in life determines the outcome, and that's what you will begin to see as you begin to focus on the positive. Look at people around you who seem to be successful and happy. Do they focus on the negative? If they do, then the situation that they are in at that given time will be a negative situation that will take away the shine of their success. Use role models who are positive and whose attitude shines, because once you can start doing that, good things will start to happen in your life. Step 40, being positive in everything. People who allow the negative side of life to create barriers will always blame fate for things not happening as they wished. In fact, if you pass blame to circumstance or to other people, you are doing things the wrong way. Learn from life to see things in a positive way. If a car you wanted to buy is sold to someone else, it isn't a bad thing. It just means that you were not meant to buy that car. New doors will open to you when you are able to view life in this way. See opportunity. It is there if you look hard enough. I remember being terribly upset that I was not able to buy a home that I had set my heart on. I continually thought about it, and it clouded my judgment for quite a while. In fact, I saw the negative side of everything because of that one incident. What I was unaware of was that when I got over it and started to look again for a suitable house, without that constant nagging in the back of my mind, I actually found one that was better, and doors started to open instead of keeping firmly closed in front of me. You blinker your own opportunities by dwelling on the negative. When you step away from the negative, you see things in a clearer way and are able to glean other opportunities that are even better than your original one. There was a very old movie where Walt Disney presented the story of a young girl, Pollyanna, who saw the positive side of every situation. Although the movie was a made for children, it actually had a very valid message in that it showed viewers how everything changes when you can see the possibility rather than the disadvantages that life offers you. You need to see the bright side of every situation and learn to be grateful for things that come out of that bad situation. When you are able to do this, you have less setbacks in life and don't get so negative about things. If you want to know the benefit of positive thinking, you need to use it in every situation that life throws at you. There is a positive side to every event that happens in your life. And although some will bring out sadness, there is always going to be a positive spin that you can put on any situation at all. As I am writing this, sadness has enfolded me through the loss of a very close friend. But I am able to use my positivity to think myself very fortunate indeed to have had that friend who has set me many examples in my life and who has enriched my life. Even the direst of circumstances can bring out positivity if you let it. Make a conscious effort to examine the things that happen in your life and put some kind of positive spin on them, because That teaches you what strength you can gain in moments of sadness and potential weakness. This helps you to cope with life and to be happier, but it also teaches you the benefits of humility and empathy.